And when you look at images with a time span of 5 years, this is the early adenomyosis, which only two things are there. The volume was less. It was around 60 ml. And at the end of 5 years, her volume became 270, and the junctional zone completely obliterated. Here you're seeing the endometrium. Here you don't see anything. So in a matter of 5 years, you are moving from a pathology where you can see endometrium to a large globular mass, and in terms of reproduction or bleeding problem, it is an ongoing process where it needs attention. In the endometrial cancer, when you look at closely at the junctional zone, you find the vessels infiltrating into the junctional zone. This will help you to pick up high-risk patients, and if you're going to do a biopsy, doing it here will provide good quality information compared to here. So in all endometrial carcinomas, consider it's a junctional zone problem, and as it is beyond going 1A, then you might see the junctional zone altered, which will keep you alert that you won't miss out anything. And in the recurrent polyps also, you see there's a feeding vessel is there, and the junctional zone is disturbed at this point. Here you are feeling a normal thing. The iatrogenic group you see is in the IUCD, in the tamoxifen, which we don't have any and in cesarean section, which Vasta described, it's also a breach of endomyometrial junctional zone and in intrauterine adhesions. Here you see copper T transversely going to the junctional zone, and any loop which is altering the junctional zone, that woman will have pain after the application of loop. In a study where they looked at people with dysmenorrhea who had no dysmenorrhea before the introduction of the copper T, they found that whoever had pain, there was alteration in the junctional zone for a slight disruption here, which explains the cause for the pain. Here again, you're looking at the endometrium, and the junctional zone is getting breached in a C-section. This is the junctional zone, and you see it's obliterated. Here in intrauterine synechiae, you see the junctional zone not very clear here and clear here. And also, you're having an abnormality here. And when you're doing a synecholysis, and when you consider your job is satisfied, a little later, evaluate the blood flows at the junctional zone, which will tell us whether what you did will be useful for the patient. And in synechiae, the first attempt is the best attempt, and prepare well and do the procedure so that the second attempt may not give adequate results. And it occurs also in the T-shaped uterus, wherein this is the T-shape, and here the junctional zones are altered. Here also you are having isolated areas of junctional zone disturbances. And in the osseous metaplasia, where you say calcification, here also the junctional zone is altered. It's different from a situation of retaining bones, where in that situation there is no alteration of the junctional zone. The whole concept of the junctional zone is an evolving area where you find its role in adenomyosis, endometrial carcinoma, polyps, and you're also seeing its importance in relation to better understanding of endometrial cancer early stage management. And also, you have a large iatrogenic section which we create, and a few infections that can cause it, and pathological entities. By asking the radiologist in future, if possible, providing information about the junctional zone will make us understand the concept better. I thank one and all.